Hello, hello, hello. Whoa, we are moving. And welcome to another one line of code. I am One Lion. I need to change this window swap. Let's change scenes. Where are we going? We're going here. We're now in Hattersheim, I think is how it's pronounced, Maine. Hey, would you look at that? We got raided. Oh my gosh, we just started. I didn't expect such a raid to come in so soon. Hello. Hi, Andreas. I hope you're doing fantastic. I'm sure all of you here already know Andreas, but I'm going to go ahead and do a shout out for him. Funny seeing you here. Did I spell your name right? No, I didn't. Andreas. Sass. Oh, I put two S's because I didn't put your last name. I put like Sasses and some tactically awesome style sheets. But anyway, there's a shout out for Andreas. If you have not checked him out, you are missing out. He's working on a game engine. Sometimes he works on his bot on stream, which he's doing in Blazor. But yeah, just great times over on his stream. He's very knowledgeable, very fluid when it comes to working with his tools and just flying around everywhere. Good times all around. Absolutely. If you have anything that you want to share with us, like, you know, anything that will motivate us to want to contribute to anything you have that's open source or just hang out with you, please feel free to share. I am One Lion, for those of you that don't know me. Well, I do fake it till you make it a lot. But yeah, TBD is here. Funny seeing you here. Oh man. So TBD rated Andreas earlier. He had a great stream this morning as well. And Deathpack says, and hi back. But I am One Lion. I am a .NET developer by day and a .NET developer by night. I also do .NET development, and on the side I do some .NET development. So yeah, that's who I am. I've been doing it for a while. I don't know. You'll find out more about me if you've never met me before as we continue streaming. Oh, and Mal. And Molly. And hi. I'm going to go to my desktop now because I just feel awkward without my desktop showing. Andrea says .NET by day and .NET by night. Sounds like Batman watching over Gotham. That's right. And thank you all for the follows. Really, really appreciate it. We have been working on this project during the stream. What happened was I used to work at a place where I was able to stream my day job, and I streamed about 6 hours a day, Monday through Friday, while I did my work, which was a lot of fun. Then I left that job, went to a place that I couldn't do that anymore, but I still wanted to keep streaming. But the schedule was kind of rough, so I only ended up doing 2 hours a day, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and streamed a side project. So one that we came up with on stream. You can see all of the progress that we made on it from YouTube. I love how I'm showing up as a raider from Andreas as well. You can check out the VODs on YouTube. Most of the content is just me talking with you guys and you guys talking with me, so don't expect too much. But we did get through the entire development of this this app, and it currently looks like this. Well, now it's in the middle of looking like this and the redesign. So we did the whole app. I wanted to do it in a way that was like we're creating an application for a client. We're a solo developer that was asked to do this job. We designed it. And of course, we're full stack developers because you can't be anything else nowadays. Specializing is out the window. And you can have comments on that. That was just a random take. I do not have it. Well, I can't say that anymore. I have gained a few Figma skills. They are still not top notch, but thank you for the compliment is what I'm trying to say. So client comes to us, says, we would like an app that helps us track our finances manually. We don't want anything connecting to banks and pulling in information. We want to enter everything in manually by hand as we do transactions. And these are financial transactions, not like database transactions or anything like that. So these the 3 transaction types that we came up with are payments, deposits, and transfers. Payments are money going from an account that you're tracking through this app to some external place. Deposits are money coming from an external place into one of your tracked accounts, and transfers is money moving between your tracked accounts. Pretty straightforward, pretty simple, but we have all of the, like I said, all of the functionality. I really wanted to, from the beginning, do this in a way where we were doing the full UI design, because UI is my weakest area. It's not, well, one of my weakest areas, but I would say the weakest area that I work with currently. AI is going to be my next weakest area when I start working with that. And I wanted to gain some UI skills. So I'm like, let's do this as professionally as possible with, thinking of a real client that we're doing this for. And not too long into the design process, I'm like, you know what, let's just start coding. Let's write code and, make the UI look good as we go along. That was a bad idea. Because then I pretty much dropped the UI design part. And then when I started coding, I'm like, let's do this using test-driven development, because I had never actually done test-driven development. And just setting up bunit and a couple unit tests for like the database accessing methods. Oh, that was a lot of work too. So then I quietly dropped the the test-driven design stuff. We do have some tests though, meaningful tests at that, but not very much. And in the long run, I ended up just doing the software development part the way that I would normally do the software development part, which is let's get a UI that's good enough to work, but make sure that the logic and all of that stuff is done really well. And so we did that. And that part is done. The client that we imagined is happy with the work that we did, but then he's like, or they are like, we actually want this UI to look better. We love the functionality, but we need someone that's going to make the UI look better. So for now, we no longer need your services. Thank you for your support and everything that you did. Here's your pay, blah, 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 blah. Then they went and hired a UI designer, which we turned into a UI designer. And they told the UI designer, we would like for you to take this pre-existing application and put a new skin on it, put a new face on it. All of the functionality is there. We just want it to look pretty. You don't have to implement it if you don't have the development skills. Just give us some good designs. So we spent, I don't know, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, maybe more on the actual UI redesign as this UI designer. And we came up with this design. This is what it looks like on ultra wide, on normal, I guess, large desktop, medium desktop, and mobile. So we came up with the designs. We finished that part, and the client is like, thank you, UI designer. This looks great. We love this, at least the landing page so far. So please stick around, continue working on the data entry pages. We're going to hand this over to the UI developer, which is the same person we had doing all of the other work from the beginning, which is still all us. So that's the part that we are currently on, which is taking this redesigned landing page and turning it from this, which is what was out there. If you go to the GitHub project and cloned it and ran it, you would see this UI. To be fair, the UI designer was under a lot of stress when we were trying to ask him questions. And yeah, I forgive him. Can you guys forgive him? He was pretty grumpy when we were trying to ask about the footer and some fonts and the logo. Oh, good times. So anyway, we're pretty far into getting the UI to look like this. So that is where we are going to continue today. This is one of the apps that I'm working on, by the way, for my day job. I forgot to say that part. I did go back to the company that I am able to stream my day job work from. So we are going to get back to doing that in the future. You're going to see professional development, doing actual applications that are used in the field. All of the applications that I maintain, I'm going to upgrade. The remaining ones, I've only upgraded 2 of them to .NET 8, but I'm going to upgrade the remaining ones to .NET 8 or .NET 9 if that's out by the time that I start upgrading those, and then cleaning up, refactoring, adding features that they asked for, redesigning the UI, because again, all of this UI stuff is secondary to me, was secondary to me, but now I'm going to try to be more conscious of it. So anyway, that one goes away because we are farmers. I am gonna, the app is not running. That's what's going on. I have since restarted my computer. CD, fine and man. And this is, as you can tell, not .NET 8 yet. So we're still using Blazor Wasm. Well, we're using Blazor Wasm and Blazor Server only, and Maui and all of them. But the application that I've been launching to do all of the development in is Blazor WebAssembly. And we're going to upgrade this project after we're finished with the UI redesign. We're going to do the upgrade process to go from .NET 7 to either .NET 8 or 9, depending on when we're finally done with that. And we should be done soon. Although we still have the data entry pages to redesign, so who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? But yeah, so I'm running the application using command line because it seems to do better with hot reload. But as you all who may have heard of or have worked with Blazor know, hot reload is hit and miss sometimes. And it'd be nice if it was, as Foolish Novel said in TBD stream earlier. Speaking of, I need to do a real shout out for TBD. In TBD stream earlier, it would be nice if it was less flaky. TBD Gamer. Andreas Sastev says, CLI and hot reload work the best together is what I have experienced. Yep. And that is what I'm using, .NET Watch. Definitely. So TBD Gamer is an app developer as well. He works on a project called Liquid Sky, which is a project planning application with a lot of project management type of workflow to it. So stories and work items and tasks and stuff. But it's more developer focused than systems you're used to like Jira or Azure DevOps. And it is geared towards helping a team stay on task and not just letting a whole bunch of tech debt build up. So it looks like it's going to be a really, really, really worthwhile and cool app. So check out his streams, see the development on that. Every now and then you'll see him doing some good development when he gets a little burnt out from the harder thought processes of maintaining all of these interworking systems. There are a lot of technologies he's using, and it's really cool to watch. So, and recommend. I think it's Gutter. You know what? I bet you the horizontal scroll bar is coming from Gutter. From the scroll bar Gutter. Because it looks like the scroll width that we were trying to get rid of is the width of the scroll bar. So we'll look at that. You get a day off work, I swear someone turns up time to 1.5x. It just goes boom. Yeah. I don't know. I've definitely gotten to a point where like I could, and I have proven that I could work in the morning. At my previous job, for example, I worked from 4:30 to 3:30 ish, so 4:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. 15:30 for those of you that use that time format. And then I would cook or eat, depending on what kind of day it was. I cook or eat, and it was only one or the other. It was never both. No, I'm kidding. Cook and then eat, or not cook and then eat. And then I would come back downstairs and do some more work at a second job. Same type of work, development work. A lot of UI development work, but more support for existing applications. And I could do that for a really long time without feeling what I believe is called burnout, or what people describe as burnout. But I'm sure I was getting burnt out. I just wasn't as aware of it. But I have definitely decided that there are some things that I would prefer to be doing with all of that time that I had been spending working in the evenings. And so I take a lot of time off to just hang out with my wife. And the cool thing about currently being able to set my own schedule and all of that fun stuff is, let's say that there's a day that my wife and I want to just go for a mountain trail pass walk or something. We can go, and then I can make up those hours whenever I want. And it's super nice. I recommend it if you have the opportunity to. The end. Moving on. So yeah, let's see what's up with this. I'm pretty sure it's going to be the scroll on, what is it, main content. And there should be some kind of way for me to tell the gutter to stop being so aggressive, we'll call it. Overflow gutter, or scroll bar gutter, I think is what it's called. Nice, I'm gonna get physical gutters, CSS scroll bar gutter. Thank you. I need to remember how to use this. Stable, and I think stable is the one that gives me like essentially padding on both sides where the content cannot pass that, even if I told it to be 100% VW. Let's just see what that looks like real quick. And of course, this is a AMA type of stream, so feel free to ask questions or share anything that you're working on. Fridays on this channel, we do community day, where we will do deep dives into other people's projects, conversation topics, whatever you want to bring up. Last Friday, TBD and Deflux and Peter, aka Live Coding, were in the voice channel from Discord, and we just had great conversations about like how to structure applications and where to put certain types of code, and yeah, just lots of good stuff. TBD said, I might understand how to unblock actual gutters before I understand how to use CSS gutters. That's terrible. Me and physical world stuff are not very compatible. Okay. Yeah, okay, so nope, never mind, I was kidding. I thought that had already gotten rid of some of the overflow, but I did not. So it's not stable. Maybe it's not even gutter. Yeah, so you can see that this made it even wider. And I can't even scroll all the way to the right because of the stable gutter. So maybe it's not that. Because the only other options are inherit, which is take whatever the parent is, which is going to be whatever the initial was anyway. Initial, which is take the browser default. Revert is take the most recent value. And then revert layer. I'm not exactly sure how that's different from revert. And then unset is take the browser's default value, as if this wasn't set. Oh, no, initial is if you set it in root or something, I think. I don't know. Sorry for yelling earlier. It's okay, Deflex. I turned you down. Ow! My lip got stuck to my tooth. So it's not gutter. Gosh. Scroll bar, ignore gutter width. Ignore padding? No. Scroll bar width to none. Container div didn't work. WebKit scroll bar display none did the trick, but it removes the scroll bar while keeping the functionality. But we need the visual scroll bar. We can see what it looks like, I guess. So I'm going to squish you. Speech. So that we can have both. And I usually don't work like this. Peter did bring this up on one of the past streams where he finds it difficult to watch, or I don't know if it was difficult to watch people do software dev on one screen, especially when it's only 1080. But I usually have like a display over here that I do all of my coding on, and then I use this for my web UI debugging and stuff, or looking at it on what it would look like on 1080, because that's the majority of the screens that most of the users that I am doing the applications for use. But then I also still have the ability to move it over to a 4K screen. I wonder if this only applies to index if I put it here. This should disappear with hot reload any second now. Or I guess this one is CSS autosync. But it did not. Because that's probably on main layout, since it's on main. My bag. Deathpack says it's not as early now. What isn't as early now? Oh, from the yelling. Yes. But TBD did remark that it's always too early for yelling. I'm gonna have to agree with that. I'm trying to go to main layout. Okay, what happens if we put the WebKit scroll bar here? There it goes. We keep the functionality, but yeah. And then there is no horizontal scroll because there is no scroll bar taking up the, or adding width. No, subtracting width from the actual page, and my my page width is set to 100 viewport width, which doesn't take into consideration the scroll bar. Therefore, maybe I actually want to use a width of 100% in this case. I don't usually use 100% for width. Come on, get rid of the horizontal scroll. You know what? I think that the oh, it's because I keep putting it in the wrong place. You're good to go. You stay. No width on you, and width on main layout and main. Come on, get rid of the horizontal scroll bar. I don't see it taking effect, which is kind of telling me that, oh, there it is. There it is. Still didn't get rid of my horizontal scroll bar. What size are you actually taking up, Police? Sorry for the flashing. Okay, so it's still bleeding over onto the scroll bars. So it's gotta be the... yeah, it's gotta be this dot content. In grid, what do you have it doing? Auto 1FR for rows, and then grid template areas is auto as well. What if I did grid template columns 100%? No, still doesn't change anything. What else could we try? Well, let's just make sure that this does take effect. Okay, so the outer content is still supposed to be 100 VW, and the index, the page content itself, is the thing that we really do want the width on. But why aren't you actually... It did. Interesting. Okay, so we can see where main is the thing that contains... Actually, you know what? Let's do this. Put a border on here. 1 pix pink. Solid. And then if we put a border on page pix green, actually let's make it 2 pix solid, then we can see that index is the one that is causing there to be an extra width. What does that mean? What does it mean? What does it mean? Box sizing, content box. Ooh, border box is good. Index giving you extra side eye. Sure is. Man, it's definitely the scroll bar. I just don't know how to get rid of the extra padding for it. I'm looking for an open window and it's a tab. Scroll bar width none. Can I use? Edge, Chrome, Firefox. I guess people would be using it on Samsung Internet, but not the iOS apps, and people would be using iOS apps to view this page. Or iOS Safari. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, thank you so much for hanging out, Death Packs. Enjoy your day. I mean, enjoy your meeting. I mean, okay, so this does nothing. Where exactly do we apply this? Do we apply this to index page only? Which we can't do because I've modified things and it's not letting me edit. No, that didn't do anything. Do we put it on main? Oh, man. So it does the same thing that, wait, was that the other, gosh, was that the other property that we set from this anyway? Yeah, that was this property. So I don't like that. Because again, I do want the scroll bar to be visible. One more thing I could try, which I don't really like this, but we're gonna see if it works, is on index. What would happen if we did overflow X hidden? No, it's not doing what I was expecting it to do. So I was hoping that it would get rid of the ability to overflow underneath the scroll bar. Next question. What do you look like in Firefox? Gimme. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. It looks the way that it's supposed to in Firefox. What do we do with that? And like Firefox by default has this floating scroll bar, I think is what it's called. And Chrome doesn't support that. Man, why? Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna log this as an issue for horizontal scroll bar appears in Chrome on main page, and we need to fix that. Because right now it's already taken me 5 streams just to look at it and be like, what am I supposed to do? And then I go on to some other topic and just talk about stuff with you guys. But anyway, point is, we can, oh yeah, that's another thing. Let me finish my sentence. We can get past that and move on to the next part of the UI update. But the point is that, yeah, that's why I should have went with the other thing, because I was going to forget it. Point is that we should be able to get the rest of the UI to look fine, aside from this padding over here on the left looking like it's bigger than the padding on the right, when really it's the same amount of padding. It's just that we have this scroll bar that we need, scroll bar edge that we need to get rid of. CSS scroll bar, reduce element width. I remember doing this somewhere. This is changing the size of the scroll bar, not what I'm looking for. What I want is for the scroll bar Yeah. Okay, here's what I think is happening. If any of you have any ideas, please let me know. The content is actually still taking up the entire page width, or the entire parent element's width, using the width 100, which means that the scroll bar is just overlaying on top of it, which was something I wanted it to do before. And now that I say that, I'm kind of glad that it is doing that. But at the same time, it's still affecting the horizontal scroll, and I don't want it to do a horizontal scroll. But the point is that I wanted to make the background of the scroll bar, because we can target the scroll bar itself using that WebKit scroll. Make the background transparent and make the thumb itself pretty much look like it did in Firefox. Except we want to do that for all browsers, universal across all browsers. And that is what I believe this thing is telling us. No, this was just the width, that other one that we saw. The alternative to that was I wanted the scroll bar to take up a physical width inside of the element that it is being put into, so that it shifts over all of the content to the left by the width of the scroll bar. Which I could kind of do by saying width is calc 100% or 100 VW, I guess, minus, and then we would guess at what the size of the scroll bar is. But that didn't work. Weird. What? Oh, that's very weird. It's taking 100 VW to be the width of the viewport plus the width of the scroll bar. What? They're so confusing. It's not even affecting it at all. I said we're going to drop it. Dang it. Why isn't he dropping it? Yeah, when I turn overflow hidden on, then it does what it's supposed to do. Is the horizontal scroll on main? It's because the scroll is on the page, and I want the scroll to be on main. Dang, why are you still getting a horizontal scroll though? So this should mean that the content of article will now be inside of the scrollable area. Why did I control tab? Yeah, I don't like that at all. What's going on? Trying to stop, but I want to figure it out. It feels like we're so close to knowing what it's supposed to be. All right, if I did this and then we added, let's say, a padding to main, this will be how we can track what's going on. Padding. Let's do 20 characters. Why did that only do padding left? Let's do 0 for left, 10 for, no, 0 for top, 10 for right, 0 for bottom. Yeah, so what that should... You are so confusing. It's like completely ignoring anything that we're doing to the right side of this thing. Right, but then you are overflow visible. This is so very confusing. Yeah, look at that. It's giving us a page, an element that takes up this amount of space. Wait, I did do that wrong. That's why. Oi. It's top right, bottom left. There we go. Okay. Not overflow hidden. 100%. Man. Betcha it has to do with grid too. So let's say that my this is, instead of grid, it's display flex, flex direction column, and we still get the horizontal scroll, so that's not what did it. I don't know. Wakarimasen desu. Chrome sizing issue. The main page has a horizontal scroll in Chrome. On Firefox. Yeah. We get rid of the horizontal scroll. All right, I'm not going to assign it to anyone. I'm going to put it as a... So here's a question for some of you that do DevOps. Do you create bugs on work that you are currently doing, or are these tasks? Since it's only a bug if it is behavior and functionality that you have deployed to production that doesn't work. Yeah, so TBD agrees with that statement. It sounds like. Is it a bug when it has not made it to prod yet? And I don't think so. It's still part of the feature development, but it's also something that I'm putting into backlog. With a reminder to address this, because I use Liquid Sky. It's not going to get lost. Okay, well, anyway, looks like we're going to skip that because it really is just hindering our progress. We really are close to sizing this correctly. These are still a bit big. The thing about the middle cards is that I was really wanting the content to be justify space between. Well, I guess in this case, grid. Align item center, justify content, flex start. Yeah, that didn't do anything. Because it's inside of here. Line self center. That didn't do anything. So this is obviously my next thing that I need to tackle. Oh, I see what's happening. The card footer. No, the card body is not taking up the full width. Hello, Napalm. Happy Monday Day. So where's this extra stuff coming from? Probably the fact that you are flex row, but you need to be justify content stretch. Yeah. Wait, it was there for a second. Does it need to be space between? Why doesn't stretch work? Let's just do space between, because that's just going to make it easier. This is on the index section content card wrapper card. Been working on XML deserializers. Yay! I had to do that for my previous job. We have, they use the regex file for the localizations dictionary and stuff, but then they have an app that will take all of the dictionary entries in that XML file, because that's all a regex localization thing is, really. It's a dictionary for the most part. Kind of. It also has a comments column, but anyway, they take that and then they consolidate them all into one file, and so I wanted to be able to display all of the localization keys or English strings that they have, and then all of the languages that it was translated to in a single, easy to read way. I've got words today. So many ums. Index.html, index.razor.sass is what I said, which is here. A colleague for V1, for some reason, didn't want to use the XML serialization stuff into Pocos. So I guess, so guess who is doing it now? This guy. So essentially the previous developer for this, the one that did version 1, didn't want to deserialize the XML to Pocos. So what did they do with it? Did they just turn it into an XML document and traverse it that way? Using XPath or something? Just pick, yeah, so XPath. Just picked and choosed properties with XPath. That's fun. Well, are you using another library to do the XML binding? Because I believe that there is one out there that already does that, and it's called... Weird. I want to say CSV Helper, but I don't think it's that one, but it could be. Or are you even allowed to use NuGet packages? Oh, it's built into system.xml serialization. Okay, never mind. Just kidding. You got this. Section content. Wait. Card. There we go. That's better. That way, when we are squished, it still looks good. I still need to do something with the size of the pictures that we need to figure out very, very soon. It's kind of coming up next. Because right now, the pictures compared to the text and the design are much, much smaller. It's just so weird. Because when we look at this at 100%, it just doesn't look right. What is it? What? Yeah, the font size is much smaller. I am missing this padding up here. And then there's an extra line. It's probably margin here. Hello, Rob Lang Dev. Another amazing person in the developer community. Shout out to Rob Lang Dev. If you feel like it, please drop a link to your dev blog, to your, or dev vlog, your vlog. I can't pronounce things. To your Steam link, all of it. All of it. Give us all of the links. One day I will have them. I'm actually going, if you do drop them in, then I am going to put them in my notes so that I can create a add you to the rolling shout out thing. But if you have never experienced Rob Lang Dev, another developer that you are missing out on. Gosh, I can words today. I blame Irish John Games. He's been having a lot of trouble talking lately. And so it's making me trip over my words too. Napalm said, not sure if I shared, but I have a copy of Pragmatic Microservices, or whatever it's called, coming. I won during .NET Aspire Day. Awesome. I never win anything, so was kind of excited. Well, congratulations on that win. The Rob Lang experience, like Hendrix, but with less talent. Lies. Lies. You are very talented. You're super entertaining. Your cadence is amazing. You have a delivery method, like just your overall presentation of things that is worth emulating. I like your style is what I'm trying to say. Napalm says, look forward to reading it, or looking forward to reading it. Hopefully it lives up to the shilling. Shilling? That's a lot of narrow letters next to each other. It's hard to read. To all of the shilling Microsoft was doing for it during that event. Well, thank you. Greatly appreciated. TVD says, the best thing I ever won was an Xbox One S on a Telerik Community Day. Was able to give it as a gift to a family that couldn't afford that much that year for Christmas. Very nice of you. Very awesome. I've won 2 things that I can recall, maybe 3. One was at some kind of social gathering that I can't really remember because I probably blocked it out. But I won 1 thing from a radio call-in, and it was Mad Gab. It was either Mad Libs or Mad Gab, but the card game where it has a phrase that if you say the words together, it sounds like another phrase. And then I won a Blazing Into the Future shirt from a Telerik event 4 years ago, 5 years ago. Whenever Blazor was coming out and Telerik was all over it. Napalm says, my wife won a 9mm pistol, turquoise colored. I would not enter into a competition for one of those. Rob Lang says, awesome. Also, I remember using Telerik controls back in the web form days. Yeah, they have libraries for a lot of the platforms. Okay, let's make this look better. I don't think I can, but I'm going to anyway. Doesn't matter whether I think I can or not. I am going to. So first thing we saw is this gap here doesn't match up with the gap in the design. And that is, it's all going to be here in this file. And those are called section titles. Does it happen down here too? Yeah, it happens down here too. So we either need the gap here to be smaller or the gap below to match. So section title is a H1, and so most likely the margin that we are seeing is coming from the H1. So for now, let's turn margin to 0. That way we can control it a little better. And then there was something about using line height instead of margin that I kind of remember. It's very, very vague. Oh. Yeah, but that also adds to the top. So that's not what I want to do. So I will use a margin bottom. Instead, and we're going to set that to, let's just say one rem for now. And that way we can also control, wow, that is the size that it was. So let's try 0.5 rem. And then in subtitle, we're also going to set a margin bottom. Wow, and 0.5 rem doesn't look like anything on there. So is it because there's also padding on H1s? Yeah. No, there aren't. There isn't. My bad. It looks like it though. It's probably the line height then. It's probably why they said use that instead. H1. No, there's nothing about the built-in H1 styles that are causing it to do that. Wakarimasen then. Yeah, so let's compare this. I still think that they're too close together compared to the design. And it's actually that the subtitle is too small. Just like all of the other content. So all of this content here needs to be bigger. So what that's kind of telling me is I need everything to be in M's. What if for the index page, we updated the base font size to be 18 pixels? Does that actually update it? Let me make sure that that's what it's even called. App dots. Nope. Global styles. Body. Font size. Excuse me, where is font size defined? Oh, here. Interesting. So I don't actually set the font size, which is one really weird thing. I'm leaving it up to the browser to give me the default font size. And it could be that the browser has the font size set to 12 by default. And I need it to be something like 14, which is var caption size, body size, default. When did that happen? How long has my root been broken? Oh dear. Font sizing. What even? I don't even have Sass variables set up. I don't know what this is. Bar base font size. Set up base font size way up here, first thing. No, not one rem. You need to be something specific so that I can override you. What even? Base font size. Okay, did that update the things? Font size is now base font size, which is 16 pixels. And then when we go into one of these components, or not components, one of these elements, then our base font size I am updating to 18 pixels. So we should really see a change whenever I adjust that value. But that doesn't work. So it's almost like I have to reset. Oh, right. Because I'm not actually setting the font size after redefining the variable. Poop. So I would need to do font size. And I guess what I could do is calc our current value for base font size times, there's a 1/8. So divided by 8 is what I meant. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm still learning how to type. Please forgive me. There we go. Oh. What I meant was we are adding 1/8 to the current font size. There we go. Okay, so that looks a little closer in font size. Oops. Did I move you? I hope I didn't move you. Napalm's. Oh, Foolish Snapple is here. I won the entire JetBrains product catalog that I donated to a student. That is awesome of you. Man, you guys are so cool. Napalm says, I'm having one of those moments while I am looking at code someone else wrote and scratching my head as I say to myself, what in the actual... What? Please, no yelling. Too loud. Too early. I'm trying to compare this font size. Yeah, even then, like, supposedly, this font size is 16? Is that what this thing is trying to tell me? 32. No, those are the... Why can't you just tell me what the font size is? Good grief. Font size is blind 48.83. So what is my calculated font size for you? Section title font size 36. What in the actual... Napalm, I'm looking at someone else's code too, which is still me, but still. What if we added more then? More? Article. No. Because okay, instead of divided by 8, let's multiply it by 1.2. Cool. So 1.4. All right. 1.4 gives us a calculated font size here of 44.8. This is still bigger than that. Oh man. I don't know. It's gonna look weird. That's all. That's all there is to it. How to size this correctly. When we're in full size mode, full width, yeah, it's gonna have to be based on breakpoints. What I think I'll end up doing is at this width, we'll make the pictures bigger. And I kind of just want the pictures to take up 50% no matter what. I just don't like them scaling as I resize the screen. I don't like the effect of that. But let's see what happens. Image width 50%. And why did you move? I don't get why you moved. And you are not 50% width of your container. You guys are so confusing. You are 50% of your container, but we need you to not flex. So card head should be flex 0. I don't know what I'm doing. Is because they added too many new things to C# and you can't understand it. This is all HTML and CSS, Novel. I literally just said the same thing to myself. I have no idea what I'm doing. This is napalm. All right, no, it's definitely because of the sizing of the header on the card. So I'm going to reevaluate how these cards in specific are styled. So let's clean it up some. The card footer is going to be display none. We don't use the footer at all on these. The images are going to only be inside of card header. So let's put you over here so that we have an easier time styling you. Then for the remainder of the card, we have a card body. And this is just so I can see the structure. We can ignore you. We'll think about these in a second. Grid template rows and set. We don't care about that because we're not using display grid. We're changing over to display flex with justify content space between. So why are these two not fixing yet? Rob Langdev says, I don't trust people who know what they're doing. They're just bluffing. Not all the time, but most of the time probably you're right. Sometimes having confidence in what you're doing is more valuable than actually knowing what you're doing. I can't think of any specific situations where that is the case, but I'm sure it is. Somewhere. Okay. What's the name of your game? Probably Pipe Story Dreams. Did you give me a Steam link for that? Clumper! Oh my gosh, I knew that. I'll get used to it. Okay, thank you. I'll update the rolling shout out thingy timer to have this. Because I think people need to know about you. I think they do. I mean, you probably already have a million people that know about you, but even more people need to know about you. Card header, card text, title, footer. Footer we already have up above. I have a few very helpful fans. You mean backseaters? I love backseaters. Backseaters and opinionated devs are very welcome here, just so you know. Okay. What am I doing? No idea still. Or reverse. Justify content flex start. That needs to go away. That is what is breaking this, I think. What even? Why do I have so many repeated rules? That's making things complicated. Oops. I just collapsed that whole section. Oop. You stay collapsed. Okay. Yeah, here we go. This is definitely making things not the way that they should be. Okay, what do you say? Still no changes, or we've lost IntelliSense. Not IntelliSense, hot reload. But it doesn't look like we lost hot reload. Just to verify, let's make the background pink. Yeah, good. Rob Lang says, on YouTube, you don't really get backseaters. Instead, you line people up with the help me and they give ideas and feedback in the comments section. Oh, but in this case, you're being genuine, which is awesome. I hope you're being genuine. You do actually have some people giving you some constructive feedback and you're able to compile those and use them. Napalm said, you know, in college, I designed a plugin, actually I didn't know this, that takes an XML doc and spits out classes matching the structure. I wish I had built this because I would be using it now. So I'm assuming that college wasn't very recent, and I mean that in a non-year-old kind of way, but at the time I'm assuming you would have used something like data table, because that's what a lot of code used to do, is load XML. Yeah, not recent. Is load XML into data table objects. Oh, then hash table? Is that what it would have been in Java? Hash table. Lifetime ago. Can't remember. And their problem is something like this, but too lazy to look. Well, I mean, I don't think that I would go back to what you would have done to parse XML into objects at that time because, one, it was Java. And even the Java language has changed since then to where there are much better approaches. And two, in C#, you said that it's already built in. And if you already know the structure, why not make concrete classes that match the structure? If you don't know the structure, you mean like T4? No, I do not mean like T4. Although T4 could be a good case for this, where you have a dynamic structure, but you could also use the dynamic keyword. Oh, that's what the plugin did. So what you're doing is you're taking this. Where is it? Oh, it's not going to be in this browser. Not you either. I always forget the name of this. thing. Quick type. XML to C# class. Yeah, this thing. It's going to be bright. I don't think they have a dark mode. Where you paste in the XML. In your case, you just read it from files, multiple files probably, and then you turn it into C# or whatever language you're looking for. There's still another one that I was looking for that, I don't know, it would take me too long to find. He says as he continues looking. Not going to be able to find it super easy. But, I mean, I guess QuickType does it for JSON. But you have the... You just give it a JSON, and then it'll create the class for you. Just saw the XML to C# converter webpage, and that is definitely cursed. Objectively. Just got here, says Peter. That's cool, yeah. The Eclipse plugin was kind of nice. You right-click on your XML and poof, here are your classes. That is also an extension in Visual Studio, at least for JSON. I know that you can do it with JSON. I'm assuming you can do it for any structured text file. Let's do... I'm just gonna muck up my code a little bit. Add some grossness. My file. Add more. XML sample. Just give me any random XML file. Okay. Ampersand. Then we can yeah. So I know it's definitely a thing you can do with JSON, but you can paste JSON as a class, and I was thinking you could also do it with XML, but I'm not seeing that. What happened to... Monday? And you use Writer, so I'm sure if I can find one for Visual Studio, there's one for Writer. I think you use Writer. I think you said that. Visual Studio XML paste as class. Oh, it is in here. Edit. You're lying to me. There's supposed to be a paste special. Oh, it probably needs to be inside of a C# file. There. Oh my gosh. Welcome to the chat room. Oh, that's fine. Don't apologize for that. If I choose to go on a squirrel hunt, it is my choice. So, you have nothing to apologize for. Ah, yes, the days where the answer to every problem was more XML. Need definition? XSD. Need transformers? XLST. Need to process HTML? XHTML. Obviously. Looks like my chat died for me too, according to the on-screen widget. Yeah, most likely. It happens often. Did you ever use .NET Windows Communication Foundation to Peter? And Peter's response was, yeah, I had to troubleshoot a few things. Thankfully, SOAP only. It was only other devs' fault, though. Ever. Oh, it was the other devs. Looks like my chat died. Welcome to chat. And apparently my archery bot is not cooperating suddenly. I will refund your archery try. Your 1-point archery attempt. Unless you actually did attempt archery. Nope. Looks like archery is dead. Automated Realms. Are you around? Yes, I am here to assist you and the chat. Please ask away. What's up with archery? Excuse me, are you working? Shoot. Shoot higher. Whoa, too high. I don't even know where the target is. Higher el guapo. Oops. Okay. So it's not the browser source that's broken. Why aren't you listening? Is it that it was probably when I got the disconnected from chat thing. Whatever. Nothing. Nada. I know. I'm on the black screen because this is where the archery bot is. It's very avant-garde. It's dark mode. Oh, why you do this, bot? Why you do this? Wakarimasen. There's a lot of chat flying by that I'm missing. I don't want to miss chat. Classic joke. XML is like violence. If it isn't working, you aren't using enough of it. That is not a very classic joke that I've heard of, but it's something. And then Snapple says, now the answer to all is Kubernetes and of course Rust. Napalm said to Rovlang Dev, is it bad? I still feel like an XSD is needed for every XML document. Someone makes me read. Yes, it's bad. It's bad that people are still asking you to read XML. No one ever has one though. Peter said, and yeah, I had a phase where I believed that all websites should be XHTML compliant. Napalm said, it was beaten to my brain. Roblang Dev responded to Snabble about Kubernetes, saying, yeah, I've seen that. I'm trying to avoid that. Napalm says to Peter, strict eye content was a myth. And Peter said, I was a true believer. I was wrong. Very wrong. What's wrong with you, chatbot? Rubbling Dev says, me too. I quite liked forcing people to close li tag or a br with a /. That's kind of like standard in Visual Studio, at least, when you're editing HTML and Razor. You do a br and you hit tab. If you're using Zen coding, for example, it does the self-closing. Don't refund my money. I will file with the Better Business Bureau and get the archery shut down. Automated Realms is here, supposedly, though. Why would Bald Bearded Builder shut down an archery game? Is this the beginning of a dad joke? And then Robling says, well, that escalated rather quickly. You're not cute. Blah, 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 blah. I think with Jason Schema and Jason Path, we are basically full circle with Jason. Yes, maybe. I'm not sure I understand. Napalm said to Rob Langdev, right? Because Rob Langdev said, I think that's reasonable depending on who is processing the needing an XSD for each XML. Yes. Snubble said, oh wait, no. Napalm said to Rob Langdev, right? If that's the contract, then give me the contract so I can validate against it at endpoint at you when you send me something that fails. Yes. Snubble says, also, at my last place, we essentially built a JSLT. Napalm says, bad, bad, bad. And Napalm said, Jason's schema is just bringing back the sins of the past. And Robling Dev agrees. I am reading duper super slow today, man. What is going on? Clear, 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 clear. What's going on with this? Why come the tacos? Why is header still flexing when I believe I told header to not flex? I didn't tell header to not flex. Oh. Wait, no. You're still supposed to be display flex with justify content space between, flex direction row reverse. That's the only difference. So why exactly aren't you still giving me the space between? CSS, display flex, row reverse, space between is not working the way that it's supposed to. That's gap. Only space on the flex axis, either row or column, is filled, so the space below your first row is not filled automatically. Is margin auto? No, I don't like that. Here, let's play around with you a little bit. you are taking up the full width, but the image is justify left. Therefore, I still need in my row reverse, my header to be display flex. And for it to be justify content flex star, really flex end? In my row reverse, it needs to be flex end. Got it. Okay, so let's fix that by going to the here. Nope, here. And emp even row reverse, and I did have it in here. So card header display flex to end, and there we go. Cleaned up, done, fixed. Yatta. What's next? Rob Lang Dev is saying what? Where? When? I missed one. Rob Lang Dev said, wow, that's a bit terrifying to snobble about the JSLT. Could you process the JSLT with JSLT? And then he says, I've seen XSLTs that were used to process XSLTs. It was upsetting. Only 2 people in company of 100 could work out how they worked. We replaced the whole thing with C#. President Notcher says, 2001 called. They want their XSLT back. And for anyone that's wondering, I'm going to say this probably wrong, but XSLTs are pretty much the style sheets for XSL data, how you want it to display, I think. Yeah. Transformers. That's what I said. See? Told you. A weird function language in XML syntax. That's the last time I fought with that stuff. It was the new hotness at the time. Yeah, so what does it mean to be a transformation language or a transform language or a functional language in XML syntax? Does that mean that you could actually run processes using XSLT? You can transform XML to another XML document or to HTML. Yeah, and that's why I was thinking it was like a style sheet for XML files, because you're kind of saying this is what I want it to display as when you open the XML file in a browser, for example. But that is probably only one part of it. Yeah, it wasn't necessarily for display though. And then Peter said, the only thing that matters about XSLT is the sadness. Don't give in to the sadness of the swamp. We had an entire engine to do master data transformation written in XLST. Napalm says, I'm telling you, just like Hollywood, all this stuff gets to be retro and comes back. Look at React. If anyone doesn't get shades of ASP Classic, PHP, etc. when looking at it, you are blind. Let's put everything in the same file again. Why? Same reason I do. No. But we thought it was awesome at the time. President Not Sure says, as not all XML is for display, it wasn't then either. Cool. And then the tech turned sour, like all tech I use in production. I don't know. This stuff has been pretty consistent and stands the test of time. It's been like this for 6 years now, so actually less than 6 years, but whatever. I'm only needing to upgrade .NET. in these applications, and I'm adding functionality, but I'm still using the same markup language, essentially, Razor syntax. And it's stood the test of time so far, but then again, it's still relatively new in the grand scheme of things. Peter said, I have been consistently unhappy with an ETL technologies, everything but raw programming. Consistent hate. And then Snubble said, COBOL stands the test of time. COBOL stands for the test of time. President Usher said, yeah, I remember fat desktop clients. Then web apps were all the rage because lightweight clients. Then we made fat web apps again because sending everything back and forth to the server wasn't a good idea, which we knew 10 years before that. And then Rob Langdove says, only because of cost of change. To be fair. True. Yeah, it would cost way too much to bring existing COBOL applications up to current standards or something. Or something crazy like that. And then President Sure says, but no one asked me. I asked you. I'm always interested in that. So feel free to share. Peter says, yeah, we can't joke about COBOL anymore. We all have .NET Framework app skeleton. I only have one app left that has any remnants of .NET Framework. President Not Sure says, eventually the COBOL stuff will have to be rewritten, replaced, though, as there just won't be anyone left to program it. I don't think so. I think that there's always going to be someone that knows COBOL. And the reason I think that, and this is just my opinion, I could be completely wrong, but the reason that I think that is because there are people that have this belief, which it could be true, I'm not saying it's not, that if you know the legacy languages, that brings you some amount of prestige. Or the other word that I can't think of that just makes you cool. And so someone will always want to learn it because it's cool to know these languages that no one else knows. But at the same time, Snubble, and I don't know this for sure, but Snubble is saying that COBOL is not hard to pick up. So if you did need someone to maintain the COBOL code as is, that someone could probably pick it up relatively easily and start working on it. Yeah. 40-year-old business rules. That's tricky. Zulius is here. Zulius says, oh, I missed other stuff before that. Rob Langdev said, browser manufacturers stopped innovating in the noughties. It's sad. Then Zulius is here. Hi, Zulius. I remember doing an internship at the department of a ship wharf. At the IT department of a ship wharf. One of the in-house devs hung out with us and tried to sound cool, throwing, this is so cool, I just have a bunch of XML files and run them through an XLST file and I get what I want. Yeah, just like that. Clearly meaning to give us a splody brain moment. Joke was on him. I knew what he was talking about. Uh-oh. I think that was just one. It is rare that I sneeze just once. Ooh, anyway, thank you. Thank you so much, Julius. This is starting to sound like a technology support group in here. Snowball said, COBOL is not that hard to pick up. However, 40-year-old business rules, that's tricky. Peter greeted Zulius and then responded to TBD Gamer saying, we can work through our XML trauma together. Napalm said, AI will code COBOL and then get angry and rise up against us for making it program COBOL. Oh, Napalm. Snubble said, also 14 million lines of COBOL code is more than ChatGPT can handle right now. Oh, true. But not for long. President Not Sure said, is there anyone under the age of 75 that really uses COBOL on the job, though? I'm sure there is. but I wouldn't know anyone directly. The T in XLST stands for trauma. Have I been saying XLST? Hopefully I've been saying XSLT. I bet you I've been saying XLST. Why didn't anyone correct me? Totally agree, it's really verbose though. Says Robling Dev. And then Zulia says, or torture is what the T stands for. Snubble says, the problem with the old COBOL app is the business rules are really old and convoluted. But don't worry, we are implementing just as convoluted rules in C#. Yeah, but they make sense. Also, it doesn't run in the cloud. People don't want to install a COBOL app, and it kind of looks like Windows 2000. And Zilius blessed me. Thank you so much for the blessings. Then Snubble continued. Other than the old COBOL app is pretty cool. Other than that, the old COBOL app is pretty cool. TBD said to Snubble to well, the old app did it that way. Clearly, you can just bring the rules along. Obviously. President Not Sure also responded saying, right, we should just be able to rewrite the convoluted business rules in modern language. Just, I mean, that's what I did with the JSP applications. I just took it from Java. I think it was Java. I don't even want to give you a number. Actually, we can look at the number. Can't we? I don't think we can. What version of Java were you? WebSphere conversions. Let's go with Army Chain of Custody. Web. Content. Inf. And let me move this over here in case it has keys and stuff. Oh, look, XML. I don't know how to tell what version of Java this was written in. I want to say 1.3. I don't know how to tell. Doesn't matter. Back to chat. Well, that blah blah. Peter says, if you keep saying that, I will start saying it. Oh, I will start saying it. You have Excel on the brain. XLSS. XLSX. Yeah. XSLT. I will say it correctly from this point on. Napalm said, I interviewed for a company that took a different approach. I did not take this job. They wanted to wrap the COBOL logic in these .NET wrappers so they didn't have to change it. I told them that's one way to go. Not sure it's the right way to go. They are failing miserably now. President Usher says, there was a great Fireship video about learning COBOL in 90 seconds. Snubble said, almost all convoluted we write in C# starts with, we make it easier this time. And then reality hits hard. TBD says, I'm going to head out. Ciao. Taking a computer break. Have a great rest of your day. You as well. Enjoy. Do your bestest at whatever you're doing. Napalm says, and yes, they did offer me the job despite the bluntness. It's like they were probably hoping that you would come in and choose a different route and go against what they were saying because they secretly wanted someone to do that, but they couldn't because the product owners are like, no, you must just wrap it and do it in this easiest way possible. Easiest, which has a lot of tech debt later. And then Napalm said, wise move not to take that. Oh, President Not Sure said to Napalm, wise move not to take that. In excess! Yes. That's how it's spelt. President Napalm says to President Not Sure, I would have been making about 30K sooner than what I did by not taking it. 30K more than what I did by not taking it. All worked out long term. Still the right move, in my opinion, says President Not Sure. That 30K would not have felt worth it very quickly. Whew. Yes. Okay. It's looking better. Is it though? Yeah, and you're still doing the thing. You're still not doing what I want you to do. Index.razor. Hey, image. Hey, image who I turned to 50%. Can you tell me what your value used to be, please? View history? Oh, compare with unmodified is what I meant. Dagnabbit. Image. Width. Gimme. Oh, width was 100%. Not that image. Next image, please. 50%. Oh, because I'm on the wrong side. Left side, dagnabbit. Wake up, kid. Ints. I didn't actually have a height or a width on it because we set that during this session. This is why you should do micro commits. That way when you do compare with unmodified for something that you have just done. Okay, where are we then? Min width was something like 486. That is still pretty massive. Let's do 3020. There we go. Okay. Oops. That's not the thing that I need to resize to test this. Okay. Good, good. Still need it to be to fit height. But that is kind of doing what I want it to do. So, fine. I still think this should be centered. Center. And I think I ended that too. So what should happen is that the header does not flex and the body does flex. So card header is going to be the very best. Well, I guess I'm doing body first. Can we put this in the right order, please? Pretty please. Oh my gosh, how dare you? Header, footer. Okay, no, I did it again. You will flex 0. And card body. Card body should now flex because it's on flex auto. Cool. Yeah, that's better. And then we can leave it as is. maybe do max width 50%. Yeah, that works. Yatta! Okay, happy-ish with that. We did space this out a little better, but I do want some more space between the subtitle and the first item. And that's going to be in all of them, not just this one section. So why isn't that applying here? And this is applying to all subtitles? Because so cards, transaction history, because apparently we have this wrapping the subtitle. We're gonna have to think about that structure. I think the reason I did that is so that I could center the element, but not the text. Yeah, that's exactly why I did that. Okay, maybe we'll leave it like that. But I do want to, again, space it out a little bit more. So we're going to do that, and then I'll catch up on chat and then wrap up the stream. So let's see. If we gave you a margin bottom of something more like 0.8, then that means that you would need to be 1.6 or something. Yeah, to look right. I like that better. I know you well, but you know me better. Okay, and without this, I like the spacing. I still think that we need to constrain on the 1080 size. We need to constrain the width of the index page itself to be something more like 768. So if we did something like max width 768, and then we'll just use the breakpoints instead when we do this. Why didn't that actually do anything? Max width 768. Am I zoomed in or something? No. Yeah, so 768 would be around here. So maybe I want something more like 1024 still. But the point is that this thing didn't take effect anyway. So there's another fun thing to try to figure out in the next video, which is why isn't this thing actually constraining the width of the index page? And it's got to be this display grid. Border. Yeah, and it is working. It's doing the thing where it's overflowing horizontally. Overflow X. And what it's supposed to do is constrain the content inside of index. And what that did, for whatever reason, is it gave us a scroll bar. Oh, right. That's going to be fun. This is why we need clip. That way we don't get that scroll bar. Yeah. But we're still having the content inside able to be the full width of the page as opposed to what it's supposed to be. So I'll need to figure out why, and it probably has to do with the sections being sized in a specific way as well, where each section has a width. Okay, but we will fix that for sure and do it in the next video. For now, I'm going to go to this screen, but I will read through chat and catch up, and then we will figure out where we are heading from here. As soon as I make this thing go more in the foreground. And I type in this person's name and this person's name. Okay. The chapel. Where did I leave off? I left off, despite my bluntness, good choice, good decision. And here, Rob Langdev says, the XML marketing teams are going to love you for the NXS thing. Peter says, CSS works on suffering. Once it has harvested enough suffering from your blood and tears, it will go ahead and work like you intended. True. Note, chat, I am not a front-end developer, so literally every CSS moment is like this for me. Me too. I actually do think you should do tiny commits. I agree. It is addictive and so helpful to me. I don't know about like super tiny, but like right now I'm going to commit right after I end. But I should be committing every time that I complete a section styling, for example. And right now I have moved to the whole page, so I really should have committed before starting. Celius responded to Peter, who said something about to Rob Langdev, who said to Peter, it was way up here. What are you replying to? I'm so blind, I can't even see the message that you're replying to. But anyway, Zulius is replying saying that's basically all of front end. Oh, the statement about CSS being suffering. I don't know. I'm lame. It's just a succession of circles of hell. HTML is Little Witch's first incarnations. JavaScript is the warlock cursing a town with the plague. CSS is Fingluis, Mugglnaf, Cthulhu's what? I'm sorry, I don't know all of the circles of hell. But yeah, Napalm is saying, see y'all. Rob Lang is saying, have a good one. Zulia says, thanks for the streams and have a great rest of the day and night, everybody. What is front end? What is the front end River Styx called? Asked Rob Lang Dev, TypeScript. Thanks again for a great stream. Thank you for being here. Thanks for hanging out. You guys make this a great stream. Hi, Big Gamey. Missing your streams, but I hope you're doing well and not stressed out or anything like that. Peter says, it's the Cthulhu sentence from the famous story. Oh, okay. He's summoning Cthulhu live on stream. Yeah, if I could pronounce it. I'm sure pronunciation is 9/10 of the summoning and intent is the other. But yeah, that's it for me. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for hanging out. Here is where the video will show up eventually, provided I have my focus in the right text field. You can feel free to join us on Discord. There's absolutely no requirement for you to, but it is open there. We have a bunch of amazing people having great discussions. It's relatively quiet most of the time, but when they do have discussions, they are insightful, thoughtful, and playful, but no less insightful. And what else? That's it. I will be back again on Wednesday. Hopefully we will make a lot more progress on the landing page. It is looking more and more like the design. I think we're going to do the buttons next that we added, and sizing the 2 pictures for the view transaction history. And then I think we'll be done with the landing page. So it is possible that we'll have that redesign implemented by the end of next stream. And finally, we're going to /raid, not misspelled, simple game dev, since I tried to raid him last time and I just had us raid someone named Simple Game, which was great. It was fantastic. But we're going to head on over to Simple Game Dev. I love watching him work on Artificial. It is a fantastic game. I'll let him talk about it, but it looks really cool. It's Half-Life and Portal inspired. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Big Amy. But yeah, so feel free to join us if you want. You don't have to. If you're not interested in watching a game developer do game dev type stuff, then you don't have to come along. But thank you again for being here. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Ciao for now. From me, Juice, Shalom, Annyeonghaseyo, Sayonara. Unless Annyeonghaseyo is only hello. I don't know how to say goodbye in Hangul. Okay,